Yo, welcome to my channel, guys. Ravi the Photog here. If you've watched my videos, mostly it's about photography and just covering different things about photography. But in this video, it's gonna be all about me. Roll the intro. Well, it's kind of a boring story, but I started doing photography, I guess, in my second or third year of university. And a friend of mine gave me one of his cameras and told me to take a photo. I was already interested in photography because I was taking pictures with my tablet, but he handed me his D7000 Nikon and said, take a picture of us. And obviously I looked through the viewfinder and wondered, why the hell is there a old-timey thing? Remember on those old cameras with a film, you had to look through the viewfinder? And for me, all modern cameras were supposed to have an LCD at the back so you can see what the picture looks like. So he hands me the camera and I'm like, oh dude, the camera's off. And I was expecting it to have an LCD showing me what the picture looks like before I take it. I started out with the exact camera that guy gave me to take a photo of them, which is the Nikon D7000. I had a choice between the Canon 700D and the Nikon D7000. And of course, I went with Nikon. Or Nikon. I went with the Nikon. Is it Nikon or Nikon? I don't know. Nikon. The Japanese say Nikon, so I'm gonna go with Nikon. A few years later, I upgraded to a D600, which was my first full frame camera. And after I got into the spirit of full frameness, I never went back to crop sensor cameras. Don't get me wrong, crop sensor cameras still have their plus, because if you're shooting stuff like wildlife photography, for example, that extra crop factor gives you more range to get the subject closer to the camera. How long have I been shooting? Let's see. 5 or 6 years, give or take. Straight from DSLR cameras. The first DSLR I actually used was a D3200, and then of course that was someone else's camera which I just borrowed for practice, and then I got myself the D7000, and after that I got myself the D600, and now I have a Sony A7R and a bunch of lenses, obviously. Kind of situation. It would depend on what I'm shooting. What is my favorite lens? Definitely for portrait photography. It will depend on what kind of look you're going for, but people usually like to see what the human eye kind of what the human eye creates. So to recreate that kind of look, I usually shoot with the 85mm or my 80-200 to get more compression. But for portraits, that would usually be in the range of, I'd say, 85mm, 50mm, or my 80-200. For landscape photography, I would go a little bit wider. Usually I use my 14mm, but that is too wide most of the time. Sometimes it looks really good, and I would say my normal landscape photography kind of a crop would be either from 24mm to about 28 or 35mm. So I'll have to summarize that. 24mm, 14mm, or 35mm, depending on what I want in the photograph. So I usually like shooting with prime lenses, but if I have a zoom on there, it kind of works out as well if I'm shooting something that's moving really fast and I can't switch lenses all the time. Favorite lenses would be the 85 and my 24-70 and the 80-200 Nikon D lens that I have. But there's one lens that I would never sell. This little baby over here. I've seen a lot of videographers use this lens, and this is one of the lenses that I would never leave my house without. I freaking love this lens. This is a Sigma Art 18 to 35 1.8 crop sensor lens. Yeah, freaking love this. This has been used so much that you can actually see the letters the numbering disappear over here. I can't see the 18 millimeters and the 20 anymore. It's the 18 to 35 1.8. Love this lens. Very good. When I started out, photography was landscape photography. That is because, if you wouldn't believe me, but I'm actually an introvert and don't get along well with people. I don't like people that much. Naturally, I jumped into landscape photography. Working on landscape photography without having any prints or things to sell, that didn't make me a lot of money. So I had to step outside of my comfort zone and start taking pictures of people. Yeah, landscape photography, definitely my favorite, because landscapes don't talk back. I don't know, there was just a little something about taking a picture and capturing that moment in time and kind of freezing it. Okay, that's a cliche way of explaining it. Every photographer does that. I just like taking pictures. Usually it was with my tablet. I had a tablet, Lenovo tablet or something, back in the day. And I like taking pictures of macro stuff, little flowers, little bees and stuff like that. Of course, I wanted a better camera and bought myself a DSLR. Practice, and yeah, now I'm here. We have such a beautiful country. Namibia is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, and photographers actually pray to come to this country. And I decided, okay, let me try this out. Since I'm living in this country, let me go ahead and buy myself a camera and shoot all these beautiful landscapes we have right here at home. And also, I got the opportunity to travel to a bunch of countries as well. I didn't have a lot of time to go out and do actual photos of the landscapes, but there are a few that I'll just throw up on the video right now. I've seen a couple of places, really beautiful countries like Norway, Iceland, which is still right up there, my favorite countries. And I definitely want to go to Lofoten. Lofoten. Can someone just help me with the pronunciation of Lofoten, Norway? Really beautiful place. The black beaches of Iceland, Kirkjafar, bunch of waterfalls in Iceland as well. I would love to go to all these places and just spend months driving around with a Land Rover, taking amazing pictures. I don't know. One of my goals is definitely to work for National Geographic or Discovery, having the ability to travel out into these countries like Argentina, places that are amazing, and just capture what I love and also get paid for it while I'm doing it. That's what I want to do. National Geographic, I'm coming for you. If you like the videos, hit the subscribe button. I'll wait. Just do it. Come on. Just hit the subscribe button and you'll see some more videos of this idiot coming out right on this channel.